On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, the NFL playoffs are officially underway, and we're breaking down everything from the early statement wins to the teams already looking shaky out of the gate. But the main event, it's draft day, baby. The NFL draft is finally here. We will talk about what the Giants might do with the third overall pick, where Shedeur Sanders could land, what Jerry Jones has to say, and all the chaos that's bound to unfold tonight. Plus, as always, we close it out with heat checks. So lock in, and here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
He's heating up!
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
He's on fire! Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational! Boom shakalaka!
You believe in miracles? Yes!
There it goes. See ya.
He's heating up!
Trying to get open, fires away.
It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer!
He's on fire!
Unbelievable!
Welcome to this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast. As always, I'm Sasha here with my wonderful co-host, Sarah. Mike is out this week. The lupus is back.
The foot.
Classic.
The foot.
Yeah, the foot.
Lack of foot, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
he lost them. I think they took the other one. They decided, let's just get rid of both feet. It's just going to be way easier that way. So shout out to Mike. Hopefully he's going to be all right wheeling around from here on out. But before we get into anything, the big news, Sarah, back with us, living that mom life. We're so proud of you. We're so happy for you. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well. We were chatting a little bit before the podcast started. All good things. I was saying very grateful that this is not during NFL season because being a mom, being a parent, not for the week. There is not very much time for yourself. Early bedtimes. I feel like I'd be wasting away an NFL season. So feeling good that right now is, I'm not a huge NBA person. Would like to be watching the playoffs, but timing is good. Everything is good. And excited to just, keep getting settled in and hopefully raise a nice mini Cowboy fan who gets to see a championship sometime very soon.
I totally forgot about that. I didn't even really put that together. I was just so happy for you until you just said that. I didn't realize it's like you're bringing more of these into the world. Does that hurt at all? Was there a little part of you that's like, maybe I shouldn't do this? Like just make them susceptible to just a lifetime of pain and disappointment?
Depends how the draft goes tonight. Could be all back in. Could be our year, Sasha. It could be our year.
We will see. But all jokes aside, we love you. We're very happy for you, and we missed you very, very much. It is good to have you back.
It's great to be back.
So we will got to tie up a little loose ends in the NBA playoffs before we get to all the draft excitement, because it has been mildly exciting so far. I would say there's been some pretty decent highs, but some of the games have just been, as any first round of some playoffs will usually go, there are just some teams that are way better than other teams that are just absolutely trouncing them. So the top seeds are kind of cruising so far. Start with the 1 seeds. We can start in the East, the Cavaliers and the Heat. I'd say the Cavs have won by, they won by 21 points in the first game, and then they won by 9. So the second games have all gotten a little bit closer, but shout out to your Heat. They got through the play-in tournament, but the Cavs are just significantly.
Yeah. I feel like I'm hearing it all over the place. Like the Heat, they just, with the expansion of the playoffs, they did not deserve to be in the playoffs, and we're just seeing it. The Cavs are the better team. Maybe they'll squeak out one if the Cavs let their foot off the gas a little bit, but they just can't compete. It's a matter. And there's a lot of series, I think, this year where it's just like this first round is like these teams, the gap in between them, the matchup wise is so big. It's hard to watch, honestly, but building up to good things.
Yes, I hope so, because it's basically the same thing in the Celtics Magic series and the Pacers Bucks series. The Bucks I was a little more surprised about. I expected a little bit more of a fight out of them. Obviously, the Pacers are very good. But the Magic, it feels like they can't score. It feels like they got their highest scoring game out in game 2, putting up 100 points. They only lost by 9. They at least made it kind of interesting to watch. It kept being like, maybe they can do it. But as soon as, Orlando would go on like the smallest, littlest run, maybe, have a bucket, get a stop, score a 3, and it's like, oh, can they do it? It's like Peyton Pritchard comes down 3. Like Porzingis bleeding out of his head, comes back out. It just seems like, the Celtics are just a juggernaut. I am excited to see what happens between them and most likely the Cavaliers in the playoffs. The Pacers, I still hate the Pacers from last year and the way that they took down the Knicks. So I'm rooting for the Bucks to come back a little bit. I don't know if they will. I don't like Tyrese Halliburton. But the only decent series in the East seems to be the Knicks Pistons. And Sarah, earmuffs. I don't want you to hear this. I really don't want anybody to hear this. I feel like I need to get this off my chest. I feel like I hate this Knicks team.
Yeah, I mean, I, d- I'm sorry, Jalen Brunson. I used to really like him. Something about him this year is just getting on my nerves. I don't want to say I don't like him, but not as fun to watch as they were last year. So I think that's fair to say. I don't think you're alone in saying that. I was honestly curious to get your opinion on this just after watching the past few games. Like, where as a Knicks fan you stand on that, and if it's a bias or not. But I mean,
No,
what is it? What's the
I'm very
problem?
down. It's it's the same Tibbs bullshit forever, and it's now that like we have a little bit of expectations. Like we did this last year before. As a Knicks fan, sniffing the playoffs, you're like, all right, we're in. We're getting a chance. Oh my god, we have one playoff win. Like I still remember like the first time like Melo got into the playoffs and got like the first playoff win for the Knicks, and it was like fucking forever since like the Spreewell teams, and it's like excitement, really, really. And then this was the first year that's like, okay, like we're a good team, and then now we've made some moves. Like sure, we got Cat, we got Mikal Bridges. This is an everybody's together for another year. So it's just like now we have a little bit more of that expectation, and it's just like the team is just not really there. We have no bench. I mean, maybe we have a bench, but like Tibbs wouldn't even give it a chance to be able to see what's going on. I mean, even if they play it, I don't think they're great. I'm tired of some of the lineups we're putting out there. Brunson was like I think he still kind of is the king of New York, like the captain of the Knicks, and the Knicks are being good. Like I still love Jalen Brunson, but like, boy, is it frustrating basketball to watch. And it's just like, we're not running any plays with him and Cat. It's very just uncohesive basketball to watch. And that coupled with the expectations that we had going into the season, coupled with the way that we looked against other top teams, I feel like nobody has any expectations anymore, where it's like we get excited and it's like, yeah, when we're watching, it's great. But like even in the first game, the first three quarters, it's like the Pistons are kind of just beating up on us. Cade Cunningham looks amazing. Amen Thompson like looks great. Fucking Dennis Schroeder seems to always hit a clutch bucket whenever you need him to miss, and the Knicks are trying to go on a run. And it's just like, how are we doing this? So it's like without that 21-0 run in the fourth quarter of game one, we could very well just be down 0-2. I think everybody's just kind of frustrated, like expectations going into this season, realizing that it's not going to happen. And you would have to be the most delusional Knicks fan in the world to say, even if we do win this series, that it could go any farther beyond this, because you're going to run into the Celtics in the next round anyway. I've seen this movie before. I've watched the Knicks play the Celtics this year. I watched the Knicks play the Celtics in every game this season, last season. Even if we beat the Pistons, which I am not guaranteeing by any means, you're going to get fucked by the Celtics, and I don't know where you go. I think personally, you might just have to change the coach, which is sad. I do have a soft spot for Tibbs and what he's been able to build here, but it's not able to build sustaining winning basketball even when the East is bad. Like the East is very top heavy. There's two teams you need to beat, and you can't beat them. 2.5, I guess. I'll count the Pacers as even half a team there. You can't beat those teams. What are you going to do? Are you just going to keep being having good regular seasons, charging your fans $1 trillion for the worst ticket, the worst ticket in the arena, and then just be like, this is it? Like you'll never beat the Celtics. I don't know. I'm very disappointed. That being said, tip-off starts. I'm still going to get mad at the team. I'm still going to want us to win. But right now, I'm just feeling very, very dejected.
Yeah, I think that's fair, from that standpoint. I just think, to me, coaching change would probably be where I think I agree, because I don't know where else you can go from there. The guys are playing hard and giving it all they can, and otherwise you just have to do something to shift
Yeah.
culture-wise, within the locker room.
And like, what do you do? I mean, like you have guys like Jalen Brunson, all-star, Cat, all-star, like Josh Hart, like you got a guy that can lock down pretty much anybody, and that's going to play his heart out for 50 minutes a game. Like it doesn't matter. He will do everything. It's like you have a solid core to build around, and you need to get some more bench pieces, I guess. But it's like this is what you need. It's got to be a culture change. It's got to just be a shift in mentality, and I think a shift of point. Like you got to give these guys some rest. Like they need to be able to play, and you need to have some plays. Like I don't know why Cat and Jalen Brunson aren't running a pick and roll 15 to 20 times a game. Like why, when it's crunch time, are we just doing the same James Harden bullshit of trying to get fouls, of trying to, it's like, yeah, listen, it's working when we win, it works. It gets me excited, but like boy, when you can't get the fouls called and you're not hitting all your free throws and you're not hitting other shots and you're not being creative with play calling and you're not finding bridges for three, when you're not running these plays down to Cat and letting him do his thing, it's just like, God, this really takes the wind out of your sails, and it's just such a frustrating team to watch. So we'll see. I think I'm really curious to see how we're going to be able to play on the road, and like if we start looking bad in these games, like in Detroit, I'm going to be so far out on this team so fast.
Yeah, I think fair.
So, but anyway, on a little more positive note, Sarah, you must be happy moving into the Western Conference. Oklahoma City Thunder, shout out Chad, absolutely just destroying the Grizzlies. I mean, that first game, they won by 51, just absolutely embarrassing them. And then a little bit closer, it was still a 20-point game in game 2.
Yeah.
I mean, OKC.
They look so good. I'm happy for them as an organization. I feel like everything is just gelling for them right now. Like the fans look awesome. The inside games, like the stadium, everyone wearing the matching shirts. Everyone is, except for a few fans, I guess.
Yep.
But most people wearing matching shirts. The team, they just look like they're having so much fun out there. But it's like the perfect amount of fun where it's like they're still locked in and winning games and not like just joking off, but like fun where they're just playing like loose, cohesively. Shea hasn't looked the best SGA so far in these playoffs, but they haven't needed him. Like they're totally fine with him playing a little bit below, his MVP caliber. And that just, I feel like, is a sign of, a good team because they're going to have off days. He might be pressing a little bit, trying too hard now. I think he'll get his rhythm back, hopefully by the end of this series. I think that's what they're hoping for, obviously, and they'll continue to play him despite deficits, or not deficits, but gaps in how much they're winning these games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so fun. They have so many great guys. Everyone is just looks happy to be out there. I don't know. It's just a good team to root for. I don't know. Do you know anyone who hates the Thunder? I don't. Like, I've not yet come across anyone who's been much of a critic or anything to that.
Yeah, what's not to like? It's like it's a young crew. They're all good. Like Hartenstein's fun. SGA is great. I mean, Chet, he just kind of looks like an alien, but like I don't. That's about the only bad thing I have to say about him.
Yeah, Caruso's out there just like mixing things up.
He's great. Yeah,
he like is 10 years younger than he was on the Bulls, literally, and just kind of like being surrounded around to this team. And yeah, I feel like they're a force. It's a little concerning to me. Earmuffs to Chad, as a Thunders fan. Like are things going too good? You know what I mean? I feel like I get like that happens sometimes. Where teams go in with like the perfect record, undefeated season, or just easy, heavy. They're not heavy favorites, but I don't know. Like I feel like they need to slip up a little bit here. Maybe just like a tight series. It's not going to be in this one, that's for sure. But maybe in their next round, just to test them a little bit more. So that way, if they do make it to the finals, obviously they're ready for a more battle tested, experienced team, which could be probably the Celtics. Really.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a very real thing that like you need to be able to overcome some adversity at some point.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think last year everyone said they were too young. They lost that series to the Mavericks where Luka was just a force. And I felt like that at that point it was kind of, they weren't ready for that. You know what I mean? They weren't ready for a big time player to make big time plays in these games. And they just kind of seemed intimidated and then were a little bit off. So I hope they keep their flow going, keep it loose, having fun, but still also continue to like build an intensity appropriately, as they go forward without getting too nervous, or losing things out here.
It's actually, I was just thinking when you had said that before, I was trying to think of like if there's any team that I'm like more indifferent about or like I wonder if the Thunder are just widely considered across like all sports, just the most like I don't know, innocuous is the wrong term because they're obviously so good, but it's like, does anybody have like vitriol for the Thunder?
Yeah, I don't think so. They don't really have any teams even that are like rival
right
type, you know what I mean? Partially being a newer market to the OKC area, like they don't have those long lasting rivalries that develop, and I'm sure they will, but yeah, right now it's hard to think of anyone. Maybe
right, they'll have to be good for a while to be able to do that.
Yeah. And I feel like SGA doesn't have the haters that much yet, because for a long time they were not very televised, being a smaller market team. Like, so I feel like a lot of people didn't know about him unless you're really into the NBA. You hear the name, but I feel like no one has found enough to criticize him about yet because he's just not being pushed in our faces that much.
I agree.
Soon enough, maybe, but so far he seems to be very well liked for being, one of the top faces of the league right now.
Yeah, I was talking about him at work today. As I've always been a big name guy, where it's like I feel mostly I feel like when we're talking about drafts in kind of any sport, but especially football, which we're going through now. What's do you remember the Louisville quarterback name who now everybody's talking about? Like Tyler, like Shock or something?
Oh
Shoff.
yeah, shot up.
It's spelled stupid. Shough.
Yeah.
Shaw. I feel like usually you can tell if a guy, like, you can't tell that they're definitely going to be good, but you feel like you can tell if somebody's going to be bad by their name. Like
Yeah.
Tyler Shock, I don't know, but like Brandon Whedon, it's just like those guys. You knew that's not a good name. That's not going to work out.
Yeah.
SGA was the first guy that really screwed that all up for me. I remember when he was getting drafted, I'm like Shea Gilgeous Alexander, like
Yeah.
that's not going to be a guy.
mouthful.
You
Yeah.
can just tell by his name that's not going to be a guy, and boy was I wrong. So maybe I'll be wrong about Tyler Shock, but SGA was the first guy to start proving me wrong that like you can have a crazy name that may not roll off the tongue
Mhm.
and still be good. So he's my outlier, but I'm still going to go by it for the draft tonight. You can't change
I
my
know
mind.
you're a little worried about this Tyler guy because you listen to the same podcast I do, that where
Yeah.
they think that he'll end up with the Giants.
Yeah, he's not. He's
They're
not.
psychoanalyzing his name
Yeah,
already.
he's like
even though-
29.
Yeah.
I don't want him. Let's finish up basketball first. The rest of these other series, I am enjoying the West.
Mhm.
I know you and your daughter are probably asleep by the time most of these games are going off. I got to tell you, before you were mom, you were going to sleep then anyway too. But now you
Yeah,
have an
I was.
excuse, so that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
The Rockets Golden State, I very much enjoyed this series. Brandon Podjemski, another weird name. He was having some injury issues coming on and off the court last night. Steph is still like maybe the most exciting player to watch, like, of all time. You can see how he ruined basketball at every level aside from the pros, because everybody just wants to do that because it is the coolest thing to do. But the Rockets are good. The Rockets are fun. What's the other twin? Amen Thompson, whichever twin that just got drafted 2 years ago, that's on the Rockets is really good. Dylan Brooks still has, like, when they put up like the starting lineups, like, on all their faces, just with like their headshots. Dylan Brooks has the scariest headshot of all time. It's like everybody else is kind of smiling, or at least maybe giving like just a straight face, like Stonewall. He literally has like forehead down, like scowled eyebrows. Like, it looks like he's just angry at somebody, which makes me laugh every time. And he plays that way.
Yeah, fitting.
Very, very fitting. The Rockets bounced back in game 2 after losing the first one at home. I feel like the Warriors did their job, stole one away, flipped home courts. We'll see. I would think that the Warriors are going to just try to take care of business at home, and I mean, they're obviously their season. They know what they're doing. This is a scary matchup for the Rockets.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like you can't count Steph Curry out of anything, so you just have to be ready at all times.
Yeah. What do you think Klay Thompson is thinking right now?
He's sad.
Gotta be sad.
I'm sad. I'm sad on his behalf. Like, I wish he went down, like, and just retired his way out.
Yeah.
From Golden State. I feel like that has to hurt. He's definitely that meme looking over on the bus meme.
Yeah. Especially because he thought he's like, oh, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go play in the on the team that just made it to the finals from the Western Conference. I'm gonna go play my last couple of years with Luka and try to wait it out, and then he's just been caught in this terrible crossfire.
Yeah.
So feel bad for him. So rooting for the Warriors, though. That's enough. Mike would have more to say, I'm sure. He'd get mad at me for not being more excited about him, but we'll see. Lakers to E-Wolves also. Timberwolves took game 1, and then the Lakers responded in game 2. Not very high scoring, though, 94-85 in game 2. But still, think the Lakers are just going to seem to find a way. The world wants the Lakers in there. Luka also, we saw what Luka did with, not LeBron James last year. So now LeBron out there looking for calls and stuff. I think that this is going to go relatively deep. But I think I'm rooting for Anthony Edwards here to come out and do what everybody thinks he could be doing.
I know. I'm torn on this one. I really don't want to root for the Lakers very much, but it just seems like they're so talented. Like, I don't know. Anthony Edwards is great, but 2 big superstars versus 1, like, simply, to put it very simply, I just feel like the Lakers will come out of this one and just experience. But I would love to see the shit that Anthony Edwards is going to talk if he wins this series. Like, his
My God.
ego inflated to next level after this.
Yeah, you already saw he's already talking shit to fans. Like, it's already just fun to watch and very, very exciting. But I also, like, I'm rooting. It's hard for me because I'm rooting for Anthony Edwards, but I also I really don't like Julius Randle.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
I'm
Fair.
just tired of I don't like watching him play basketball that much. I do like Dante DiVincenzo though, so I feel like I can get over it. I can get past it. It's no animosity. I just don't like the way he plays basketball.
Yeah, most probably feel the same.
Yeah, nobody likes that. And then Nuggets Clippers, last one. Nuggets basically just squeaked out game one in overtime, and then the Clippers ended up winning just by 3 points, so 105-102 in game two. So this is the series that has been very, very fun. I feel like you're just watching it the whole time, being like, imagine if Denver had a coach that knew how to play with this team and knew what they were doing.
Still not over that move. I'm not. I can't watch this series and not think about that.
Yeah, they must have all just hate. I mean, everything I've seen is that they all just hated him. I guess, which I don't know, shocking to me. I feel like there's way more. And obviously, and now that we saw whatever Ime Udoka, like we still never knew what really happened there. So it's like, just feels like a thing we're never going to get the details that we all want, and we'll just have to forget about it. And then in 3 years, we'll be like, hey, remember when they fired Michael Malone like a week before the playoffs?
Yeah, with several winning seasons ahead.
Yeah, and a title. Yeah. And then the Clippers are looking good. Like I feel like the world. I forgot about the Clippers, and it's like, oh yeah, Kawhi comes back and starts looking amazing. It's like this is a scary team.
Yeah,
And Harden.
It's crazy how polarizing he can be for that team. Like I literally exactly that. I was watching the series at the beginning and I was like, I don't think I can name a single player on the Clippers other than Kawhi. Like I did not care to know about anyone on the Clippers, but he just is so fun. Like when he's healthy and playing well, he is one of the top players. I think that's just fun to watch. He just plays like very good, clean, like smooth basketball. I feel like that you just like watching and it's just pretty. And I don't know. I feel like I'm concerned a little bit just if like as the series goes on, his health, his I guess endurance in that, like it is kind of all falling a little bit on him in comparison to the Nuggets. Obviously, they're heavily led by Jokic, but they still have other pivotal players who can step up if he is an off night. So I think Denver edges this one out, but good for the Clippers. I mean, most of us forgot about them, so good for them.
Shout out. So we'll see what happens the rest of these playoffs. I'm hoping I can change my tune on the Knicks by the time we record next week. I'm just not confident in it. And you can play this back for me if they start looking good and I start believing again. You can just remind me of this time right here when I'm like, remember, the Knicks are bad.
We'll hold you to that. We will.
Yes. Now, the main event, what we're all excited for. We were recording this just mere hours before the NFL draft starts, and I am through the moon. I am very excited because all this means is that we are one step closer to football, and I am one step closer to actually being able to believe in my team again for basically no reason, and I am so excited about that. But before we get into the Giants and the third overall pick, I got to let you talk a little bit about Dallas because Jerry Jones has got to he's got to get on the interviews. He's got to be doing his thing and saying, we're going to make some moves either before or after the draft.
Yeah, that's like
you believe him?
Go-to, but like every year, it's like he's in his calendar. I don't know if handwritten calendar, obviously the big desk one.
Yeah,
you write on, and it's just like a week before the draft, send out interview stating that we're gonna make some moves. Like every year, it's just like press the button, stir things up. He's like, this will really get the people going. He just like has to do it. Doesn't mean we're gonna do anything. Who knows? Last year, not really. Honestly, I think we like made like one that definitely didn't constitute as an interview worthy, making a big splash here or anything like that. But we'll see. I think it's really going to be very dependent upon how things are playing out in the early picks, honestly, because 12 is a weird spot, I feel like, to be in. That's kind of right around that range where, yeah, you could definitely get some unexpected players falling to you there. Or if everything goes perfectly as kind of expected, or I guess in the worst case scenario for the Cowboys, where everyone they would want ahead of that falls as they would not like them to, then you're kind of left like, okay, now we're reeling a little bit here. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, would love Ashton Genty if he's still available at 12. Unlikely, very unlikely.
Yes, very unlikely.
But I think that's the overall consensus move they would make if he's still there. I don't think I would not approve of moving up for him. That would not be worth it. We know right now running backs, we need one, but for the Cowboys, not a great move to make our roster about one. So
yes,
I think at this point, from everything I'm seeing, looks like probably a wide receiver is going to be our first round pick. Which you might say, hey, didn't you just sign CeeDee Lamb to a really big deal? And he's a really good
was
receiver.
thinking that.
Yes, and did you trade your 4th round draft pick for Mingo last year from the Carolina Panthers, who is he even on the team still? He is. I had to check, but who would have known that, because he did very little production wise last year, but he is still in fact on the team. So I think they're looking just for another piece to add out there. I think Jalen Tolbert didn't play out as that second, receiver as they thought yet. I think he's still developing.
Have you seen how fast he is, though?
He is fast, and he gets a lot of reps in with Dak. I'm a fan of him, but yeah, no, I don't think he's there production wise yet, and reliability, a lot of big drops in crucial moments. So I think they're hoping to either get Matthew Golden from Texas, or I'm seeing McMillan available if he's available, which is less likely, I think, at the 12. So probably I'm going to guess Matthew Golden is general consensus of what I'm seeing a little bit more of.
That's a good name. That's a name that scares me. That feels like a Pro Bowl wide receiver name.
I like it. I like CeeDee Lamb, Matthew Golden. Like, it goes there. So it's looking like that. Honestly, if you told me like 2 weeks ago that's what they were going with their first round draft pick, I would have been like, this is stupid. Like, we just love like an abundance of riches in like in one area, and we have so many other holes to fill. But I don't know if we're gonna try and get the most out of Dak at this point and complement CD and get the most out of him. Having another high level receiver, I guess, will help the offense from there. And I feel like every year, I don't know about you, but I feel like you list out like what the needs are of the team, and it's freaking every position, like literally almost every position. Like,
I did the same thing.
A star quarterback, which both of our teams are question marks in the quarterback. Like, unless you're the Bills with Josh Allen, where you can effectively maybe eliminate the quarterback, it's still, there's every other position. You're like, oh yeah, we could use a corner, we could use a running back. Like, the need is everywhere. Okay, because it's just, you never know from year to year injuries. So it sounds like we need a lot, and wide receivers probably not top of the list, but it's where we're going with number one most likely. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Other needs, defensive tackle, cornerback after losing Trayvon Diggs, still questionable injury. Not sure.
Still questionable?
Yeah, I think it's more questionable, I think, in terms of his ability, honestly, when he comes back.
That's so rude to be able to put somebody on the IR questionable. Just
I think they're just worried. Longevity wise, I guess, because of all the injuries he's had. They lost Jordan Lewis, their slot, in the offseason. So that hurts because he's been great. And then Deron Bland was injured all of last year, came back, or half of last year, came back. So we have a lot of injuries at the cornerback position. So I think that's what they'll be shooting for. I've seen even as their second round pick, 44th overall, Siobhan Reval from East Carolina. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, I know we're not a huge college football podcast. So for me, I zone in on the names that they tell me, and I'm like, okay, checks out. I'm not going to watch tape on someone from East Carolina. Like,
I'm not doing, I'm not grinding Siobhan Reval cornerback tape from East Carolina.
Yeah, if you think it's a possibility, sure. Sounds like he's had a lot of injuries as well, which, like, I'm not loving this theme of our cornerbacks just being made of glass. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a big deal when your corners are out from week to week. I feel like that's a big flow position.
Yeah, it's not like it's a passing league or anything, right? You don't need any guys consistently be able to defend the pass.
Where we're like randomly pulling guys off the street by like week 6 for the corner. It's like, no, we don't need that. But that's what I'm seeing for second round. And then I think running back probably would be third round pick. What I've seen a lot of places, Trevion Henderson from Ohio State with their third round 76 overall pick. I guess that's fine. I mean, I like that. It's better than a first or second round take of a running back. Third round seems appropriate. Ohio State, haven't watched too much tape or film on him, but it seems like an overall decent consensus if they're able to get him, obviously.
Yeah, national champion. They were good.
Yeah, I'm hoping he stays there because I have seen a few drafts where they use their second for him, and I would love, I don't know. So I don't want a running back taken in the first or second round for us. We don't need it at this point that badly for someone who's not like a star guarantee.
Oh, you guys have Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders now, and Deuce Vaughn. You guys have an embarrassment of riches.
And Zeke could just walk off the street and be in the facility if he wanted to. So
he's still staying there. Yeah,
we're loaded. We're loaded at the running back position. Dalvin Cook might show back up. Who knows? But yeah. So I think overall, I'm liking what I'm seeing. We definitely do need another defensive tackle. For sure, after losing a few guys last year there, but did have a big offseason signing. I'm like totally blanking right now on his name. Fowler, who was previously on the Cowboys and then went to the Commanders. He was very productive last year for them, so I'm hoping he'll keep that up, but still need to fill some gaps. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go. Jerry, who knows? Will we surprise everyone and slide up and take Shador Sanders at 4, even though that's absolutely totally unnecessary because Shador might not even be a first round draft pick by the time the night's done. It's possible. Anything is possible with the Cowboys, but we'll see.
Very, very excited. Do you think in the draft room, I know that he's the owner and GM, but is there somebody else, like maybe his son or something, that like maybe just puts one of those like kids' toys phones in front of him and it's like something that's not plugged in? Because we do that with our nieces sometimes. We go over to the in-laws' house and they just have like an old phone like that used to
Yeah.
be, just a house phone that they just leave out and the girls can pick up and play with it. Do you think that's just what they do with Jerry? It's like, oh yeah, Jerry, make a call to the Saints, see what they have to offer.
If they're not, they should, because I love
Yeah.
that idea. I feel like that would be great. Even if they're like, oh, maybe that was a good idea. Like that he just had, like, just test some things out by putting him in front of this fake phone.
Yeah.
And then, like, if it's something good, just be like, oh, actually, wrong number. Use this phone,
Right.
But if it's not, then just leave him
Just put
be on
Frank
his own.
Caliendo on the other end and just have him keep doing voices. So like whatever he
Yeah.
calls, and it's literally just a one-way phone where it just goes right to Frank Caliendo, and he's just doing all different voices, trying to be like, this is who you're talking to now, Jerry. Why don't you wheel and deal some more? And he's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Where's my team doctor with a cowboy hat? I need him near me right now. I need to
I
see
know.
what he thinks.
He probably should just be walking around Jerry Jones at all times at this point, anyway. The team
Yeah,
doctors.
that's his personal doctor. Make sure he doesn't pass out.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's funny.
see. Interesting times, new regime, no Mike McCarthy. I mean, that's going to be a new one. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's going to feel good when they're not paying into the draft room and he's sitting there looking like he's like 450 pounds, just like total brain farting out into the abyss, So I'm excited to see how things go. And hopefully they give Schottenheimer a chance. Obviously being an offensively minded coach, I kind of do think that might be a reason they're also leaning in that direction, like going with a wide receiver. Trying to prioritize that a little bit because I feel like you got to play to his strengths a little bit, right? Get him comfortable, productive offense. If that's what he's best at, then we can be a high producing offensive team and fill in the defensive gaps from there.
Yeah. Are you sure that you can pick Schottenheimer out of a lineup? Are they going to cut to him and you're going to be like, that's my guy?
No, I couldn't even figure him out in the NFL coaches picture. I was like looking because it was so blurry. I was like, I think that's him. So no.
Yeah.
Soon enough, I'm sure he'll have some bizarre characteristic that I'll zone in on and absolutely hate seeing on the sidelines of every game. So time will tell.
This is the first time that you really get to see that. Are they going to zoom in? Is he going to look confident? Are they going to zoom in? Is he going to be like in a good position? Is he going to be standing? Is he going to be sitting? Maybe is he going to be like putting his hand on the back of Jerry Jones? Is Jerry Jones going to be hovering over him? There's a lot of weird body language things you get to watch tonight for the first time.
I'm excited to see. I hope he's just not getting bullied by the Jones family.
I wouldn't say that's a high probability. He was just, he was a lower level coach on the team that now got promoted. I feel like that means that they like him and they feel that he can be controlled.
Yeah, most likely.
We'll see. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be exciting. Maybe he'll trade up and get Shedeur and make everybody happy.
And I forgot we have Matt Eberflus. Like I
didn't know that either. As a D coordinator?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep. I feel like the vibes in the draft room might not be that great.
That's bad vibes.
All these guys in there and like it's gonna be so mediocre. They're just all gonna be like so blah. I feel like I don't know. Jerry's gonna have to spice things up a little bit in there.
Yeah.
It's just bring him in there for the entertainment.
Yes.
Things.
That's it. Just keep an eye out. Keep an eye for the wire on the phone on Jerry. See if it's real. See if it's connected. So starting that rumor here. Is it right if I talk about my Giants now and I get excited for nothing?
Love it.
Thank you. We got the third overall pick. It's coming fast, and I feel like everybody is talking. Like Giants have been the talk of the town because I feel like the first two picks now are pretty set in stone. They have been for the past couple days. Seems like Cam Ward has been locked in for a while. Now it seems like more officially Travis Hunter is locked in at 2. So it seems like really 3 is the first thing where like people are saying Abdul Carter, which would make me very excited. As you mentioned before, when you start listing out all of the team needs, it's just like, oh man. So just everything. Like, why the fuck am I listing out team needs? I'm going through like, what we really need is an edge rusher and a quarterback and offensive line and cornerback and wide receiver. It's like, I guess the only thing we don't really need is a running back. And that's only for the case that like, it doesn't make sense to have a running back and not have any of those other things that I listed. Like we could certainly use a running back too. I mean, maybe Tyrone Tracy does something, but I'm going to say if we don't draft Abdul Carter third, I'm going to be very, very, very upset, and it's going to be hard for me to get excited about this team because I'm starting to hear that the Giants could do some crazy shit, and they really, really like Jackson Dart. As soon as I started hearing this a week ago, I started doing more research. That being said, I am getting a little excited about Jackson Dart if we can find him at a reasonable spot. He is not a third overall draft pick. I like his interviews the most out of all of the quarterbacks in this draft so far. He seems the most confident. He seems like the most leader of a team kind of guy. But the Giants have a lot of draft capital. We have five picks in the top 105, 8 picks overall, which is a lot going into a draft, obviously. So we have a lot of draft capital, and we have not a lot of actual talent on the roster. I really need to see Abdul. My dream scenario is getting Abdul Carter with 3, and then maybe moving some of these picks to get in the late first round. I don't want to go probably higher than 20, 21, 22. If Jackson Dart goes before then, take him. I don't want to give up whatever it takes to get up to, to 12 to 15 to try to take him because we're worried about it. If he goes higher, great. Somebody else is taking a shot. But we're going to see what Dable and Shane have left in the tank and how much they really believe in their jobs and how much they feel confident in building this team versus how much they're just like, I need to try to do something to save my job or else I'm getting fired. I'm just so nervous. The Giants have a long history of fucking this up. Like, it's just all they do. What they do, and like I've had to play against Micah Parsons for how long has he been in the league now? 6 years?
5, I think.
5? I want one of those. We have a chance for me to get one of those. I could get a Penn State number 11 amazing guy to add to the defensive front. I want to have that now. Pair him with Brian Burns, pair him with Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau. If he doesn't get packaged with something and traded, we could have an amazing defensive front. And like, we have to play against the 2 teams that were just in the NFC Championship game and the Cowboys 6 times a year. You need to be able to pressure the quarterback because we basically know that our offense, barring some miracle, is not going to be, we're not going to be putting up 35 points a week. So I would love to do that and then package a potential trade for Jackson Dart at the end of the first round. I mean, because I don't know, Sarah, I don't know if you're much of a history girl, but I mean, do you remember the last time that the Giants drafted a quarterback from Ole Miss? What happened?
I'm not into history. You're testing
Well,
me,
we won 2 Super Bowls because Eli Manning went to Ole Miss. So I'm just trying to basically convince myself of that. If we pick Shadur Sanders, I think I'm going to go outside and I'm going to live in my shed and I think I'm going to sell my TVs and internet and just get a, I don't know, I'm trying not to say anything too dramatic, but I'm going to be furious if we draft a quarterback at 3 here. And
yeah,
I would be so mad.
No, I'm the most scared. I think if you want to judge off what opponent who has to play you
Yes.
twice a year, Abdul Carter. I'm going to be very pissed off if he goes to the Giants. I'm going to be like, nice play. I hate this. I hate that we have to face him twice a year because he is a force. Absolute force. Like you said, game changer on the defensive end. If you take any of these quarterbacks, I'll probably be pretty satisfied because, you just never know. Like, especially in this draft, right? You never know. Maybe someone pans out, but percentage-wise, it's very low. It's very low how it's going to pan out. And a 3rd-round pick in this draft, with a quarterback is not great.
No, because it just feels like the classic forcing a thing. And I keep hearing these the draft analysts saying, like, this might be the year. There's only one quarterback drafted in the first round. And it's just like, I get that the quarterbacks are worse than they have been in the past bunch of drafts, but it's like everybody just keeps falling in love with quarterbacks, and they always do. And every time you don't think quarterbacks are going to go, it doesn't matter. They always do. It's like every fantasy draft that you've been in. Like, you see how people are in fantasy drafts that mean nothing. People lose $50 a year. This is like people's livelihood, and like a business is going to be putting millions and millions and millions of dollars into this person that they draft. Like, as soon as like that mentality happens of like the quarterbacks start coming off, what if this guy's really good? Man, the Cowboys, or like the Eagles, we can't let our rivals maybe get a quarterback. What if they end up being great and they just end up doing something stupid? And maybe this is the year where quarterbacks don't go, but until I see it, I'm not going to believe it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting social experiment, the draft a little bit, like you said, where it's just like the greed that comes into it, but also like the fear and phobia aspect makes you just do crazy things. The teams go in, I'm sure, with this well-aligned plan saying the same exact thing, but once you see certain names slipping off or certain people falling to potential other teams, there's no way to kind of counteract. Like, you don't know how people are going to behave.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to trust the guy with his hand on the wheel. And it's just like, I don't know if they do. It's just a weird dynamic always with, between ownership and general manager and scouts and coaches. It's like there's just so many opinions and so many people you need to worry about, so many people you need to trust with different things. It's so tough. And right now I'm kind of going back and forth of getting a Jackson Dart, a Jalen Milroe, where you might be able to get him a little bit later. Obviously, a dual threat guy, significant upside. Maybe if we get him in the third round, do I like that better and have him sit for 2 years behind a Russell, behind a Jameis, and like it happens like with these quarterbacks that basically nobody is touting as a throw them in there year one, they can be great. Like it's okay to have a guy sit for a couple years, and I feel like you have a little bit more of that flexibility if you get him in the late second, in the third round. Because we see what Bryce Young went 1 overall, and it took him like 2 years to start looking competent. Like it's hard to play that well in the NFL, and there's a couple of guys that have ruined that mold. You know, the Andrew Lucks of the world. I feel like more on medical thing. It's like Adrian Peterson has basically forever ruined people's expectations of what it's like to come back from like an ACL tear. Just as like Andrew Luck, people can just say like, "Oh, you draft a quarterback, they can come in year one and look amazing." It's like that never used to be the case. It's like
Patrick Mahomes sat on the bench.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes did not start after he was
Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench. It's like you get to learn, and like you get to they build confidence and they build their skill set, and they're around the locker room and they're around the playbook for a period of time. That's just what good teams do. Fortunately, the Giants are not a good team, and they basically bring coaches in. Coaches need a quick fix. They don't have the luxury of like, let's just draft this guy, pay him some money, have him wait out and hope it works out. People just want to know immediately. So,
well, and part of that is the coaching situation, right? Like you have a coach who's fighting for his life and for his job, and it's okay. We let the quarterback sit out this year and take it down. Like you're basically saying, okay, Dabo, we give you another year, I guess, right? Like it's not really fair to fire your coach when you're giving them very little to work with. So I feel like the Giants are caught up in that cycle of very high pressure situation for these incoming quarterbacks because it's like, we need you to come in and save the franchise as a rookie quarterback. Basically, is literally what it is. Like, they're putting so much faith and stock into these rookies who really would be benefiting, from sitting back and learning a bit. But unfortunately, they're just being thrust right in there with the expectation of, we need some positive out of you. And then they don't meet it. And it's back to the drawing board again.
Yeah. So I 100%. So I've decided I'm going to, if we leave with just Abdul Carter, I'm happy. If we leave with Abdul Carter and then either Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe, I think I'm to the moon. I mean, obviously it depends what we have to give up to be able to get down to maybe get one of those guys if we have to. But I think I'd be very, very happy. And that makes me feel like I trust whoever's at the helm of like, we're going to build this thing. We have 2 quarterbacks that are going to be able to hopefully win us some games and play well. And get either, maybe Dart or Milroe, so a breather of like, this is how you play in the NFL. And then another name I found, Tyler Booker. We're probably not going to get him. He's an interior offensive lineman from Alabama. Very, very good. His run blocking is great. Powerful dude. Huge. We need him. He'll probably be gone. I don't think we get a quarterback and him. I think he's like a second round guy. But just another name to throw out there so you can tell all your friends when they get drafted, like, oh, Tyler Booker, Alabama. That guy's big. He's good. That always makes you feel good. So, second round target. Maybe he's moved up to first by now. I just got excited about him, and that's basically all I have to say. So, keep your fingers crossed for me. Sarah, I love you. I care about you, but I really want to see you sad today.
Yeah,
when we get Abdul Carter.
You take Shador at number 3 because
oh my god.
One, I love how that plays out for the Cowboys. 2, I'm interested to see how that goes down in your household. Or what happens. Wellness check probably on you.
If we draft Shador, wellness is bad. I mean, it would be.
We're gonna have to do a wellness check on you to make sure.
Yeah. See, Andrea's going to be calling you, being like, "What do I do? What happened? How do I handle this?" So you need to be ready until. But there is good news, though. I don't know if you want it or you care. I did just see this. This article just came through. Officially from. Oh no, it wasn't an article. It was on. I think they're all live right now. Still, everybody's talking about it. Adam Schefter officially, quote, "They don't feel like they want to force the issue tonight. Shador Sanders is not going number 3." Adam Schefter on what the Giants plan to do with the number 3 pick.
Well, that's good.
So Adam Schefter, bad outfit. Also, I don't know if you want to get on that. He's doing
or Schefter's.
Schefter. Okay. Bad outfit tonight. He's got like a white button-up shirt with a tie, a hoodie over that, and then a coat.
How cold is it in Green Bay? Like,
I guess it is Green Bay, but again, it's beautiful here. It's not like it's January.
No.
It's like a light hoodie. It's like trying to do one of those cool things, but he's just like basically just relayered a hoodie underneath, like in between a suit.
Too short for that many layers.
Sarah, there's a lot of short kings out there that need our help. I've heard.
I know.
Not here though. Fuck them.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm excited. This is the first little inkling of football being back, and this is no matter who you take. See, I'm just walking myself into trouble. I just said no matter who you take, you get excited for your team, but the Giants have a real opportunity to just completely take my knees out.
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll do something. Well, no, I'm hoping for your sake to do something with it. For my sake, I'm hoping the knees get knocked out.
Yeah.
Either way, we're gonna see what happens, but it's exciting. I love it because it's like for me, again, not being huge into college football, like I kind of zone out a little bit leading up to the draft because it's just so much talk about things that I'm not totally invested in. And I'm like, okay, once the draft comes and I know like who we should be taking, who are the good prospects, and did we get them? That's when you know. And then from here, it's just so exciting to see how things like, develop from here on out. Soon enough, Hard Knocks is starting and it's all good. And football will be back. And this is the big stepping stone there.
How is Aaron Rodgers still not on the team? Is he just going to retire?
The diva energy is unreal with him right now because he is inconveniencing a lot of people with this decision, like a lot. And I feel like everyone just hates him more and more as every day goes on. Like whatever team ends up getting him is still going to hate him from the way that he behaved about this. And I'm interested to see how that goes for him. But I feel like if the Steelers take a quarterback, he's not going there. That seems to be the general consensus, which is stupid. Like, how old are you, Aaron Rodgers? Like, you can still be the starter this year and they can develop someone under you. Like, well, it's in their best interest to take a quarterback.
He doesn't want to train anybody. He doesn't want to help. He doesn't want to do anything nice. Is there a nice thing to do? Is there like a good veteran thing to do? It's like, no, he doesn't want to do that.
No, he doesn't. It's so annoying. It'll be interesting to see what comes of that after today,
Right.
even today and tomorrow.
Yeah, what if we'll hear something? He'll come and he's going to be like the Laramie Tunsil like gas mask thing that broke the internet on like that draft day like 15 years ago. This is going to be the draft thing. He's just going to like somebody's about to make a pick, and then it's going to be Aaron Rodgers dropping some news to try to make it all about him. Comes out of his silence retreat. Whatever. Fuck him. We'll see. Yep. I hope he retires.
Same.
Finish off with heat check here. We got some fun bets we can do. I've now gone on a cold streak losing my soccer stuff. I got a little too cute with it. I got a little too excited. I feel like I talked myself into something that I shouldn't have, so I'm going to take a little breather from there. But Mike was kind enough to send us a pick. Pacers plus 5.5 versus the Bucks on Friday. But don't worry, it's not good. Mike is still doing Mike even without his feet. And with the lupus, he still threw in the text saying possibly money line also plus 170. So Pacers on the road, thinks they might go up 3-0. If you want to be a little safer, take the 5.5 points. But Mike is also a co-signer on your money line bet. They can get you up to plus 170. So very exciting there. Sarah, what are you bringing us home with?
A little crazy to my pick. I'm going the Magic plus 5.5 versus Celtics on Fridays. So tomorrow. Yeah, I just feel like the Celtics are just going to get a little bit bored here. Like, and Tatum's like injured, quote unquote. Not he's injured, but you know what I mean. That's like unclear. And I just feel like they are going to take their foot off the gas. And I honestly think kind of similar to Mike. Like, if you're going to take this, you maybe should just take the money line because the Magic are either going to get blown out of the water, somehow scrape out a win, and I think there's no win between here, so maybe change that to money line if you really feel like it. But yeah, no reason other than I just want something to root for other than the Celtics. With every passing game, I dislike them more and more, and I think it's just the personnel on the team. Honestly, not a huge Tatum fan. Jaylen Brown, and I don't even know Mazzulla. I'm not sure what to make of him as a coach. I feel like he tries too hard to be whoever he wants to come across as. I don't know. So I kind of just want to see them lose, and maybe it'll get dramatic for like a day or two, but probably not.
In this house, you don't need a reason to dislike Boston sports. You can just hate Boston sports and feel comfortable doing so. That pick scares the shit out of me. I think the Celtics are significantly better than the Magic, but I'm with y'all because I'm significantly good. I'm going to watch that game and completely be on the same. I'm in your boat. Yeah. Because I didn't want to go basketball because basically I felt like I was going to take the Celtics. No picks really excited me. They weren't that fun because everything I wanted to happen was not what my betting brain tells me I should do. So I was going to stay away. I'm going to go a little crazy here. I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Edmonton Oilers, and they are home right now. They are minus 1.5. Their game back at home, plus 185 over the Kings. Obviously, with these sports similar to soccer, where it's like the goal differential is always so minimal, you can get some pretty good odds if you think a team can win by 2. So Oilers, for them to cover, I think this is their first game at home. They're coming back from LA. They're a very, very good team. Coming to Edmonton, -1.5, +185. I'm excited about that. Lock it in. And playoff hockey is still just fun. I really don't have a dog in the fight, but it's like that's one sport you don't really need to care. Plus, you throw a little juice on it, bet on it. It's fucking electric. You just feel like you want to throw up the whole time. It is very, very exciting. So
my dad has been trying to get me into the Maple Leafs just because they
Good.
haven't won in so long.
Yeah.
Sick uniforms, Canada hockey team. So I might get a little interested in it. There's just too much going on right now. Today, I'm like, the hockey has to go on hold until the draft is over at this point. But then maybe we'll get a little bit more into it in the coming weeks once we're past the draft.
all right, well, listen. If you're in, I'm in. So now we'll be a Toronto Maple Leafs podcast. Maybe we can get your daughter a little Maple Leafs sweater. That's what they call their jerseys. That'll be pretty cool. So but listen, if they win, credit to us, credit to Mike. Shout out Dad.
Mike Berkeley.
Yeah.
Him hiding in the basement watching the Maple Leafs and the Orioles, all back and forth between the two.
So, well, wonderful. Listen, Sarah, it's wonderful to have you back. We missed you very much, and hopefully we'll be able to have everybody together next week after the draft to break down everything that happens. But just to recap, Mike has the Pacers +5.5 versus the Bucks on Friday, or possibly money line if you're feeling froggy. Sarah's taking the Magic +5.5 versus the Celtics on Friday, and I'm taking the Oilers -1.5 over the Kings. So lots of money to win, and we got some fun stuff. Next week, we'll be back, break down all of the draft, see what's happening in the NBA, maybe touch a little bit on baseball, and hopefully have the whole crew back together. So, as always, we appreciate you guys for following along, for listening. We love you. Follow us on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. See our beautiful shining faces. And shout out to whoever actually was listening and apparently got some of our episodes striked for the copyright that we were just stealing on our outro music. So we can't do that anymore. And we will be back with some new outro music shortly. So if anybody knows anybody or knows how to make some music, please let us know, because we're just going to have to figure it out ourselves. So we love you. We appreciate you. And we will talk to you next week.